looking for his chocolate bar.
Oh my God!
Some people just don't like change.
He's looking for his chocolate
Jimmy, some people don't like change, right?
Right.
box.
The chocolate bar will come back to you
Just sit
tenfold.
next to the chocolate bars. There are a couple minor changes. The new candy cane wine glasses. Very nice. Thank you, baby. As always, everything you see is Ron's creation. So thank you to him again for it. An even more beautiful table with new pine cones, which I love. I love. The wine glasses, the chocolate bars are gone from the table, but there's a beautiful replacement awaiting.
So the chocolate bars will come back to you.
Okay, Christmas is back on. Christmas is back on.
So good.
Drew's gonna stay. But again, we want to thank you guys for being here. I can't believe it's Christmas 2014, and this is our 11th year in this house, right? 11th Christmas.
10th Christmas in this house.
Did we not do it the very first Christmas?
We did. So I guess it would be.
So this is our 10th year in our house for our 11th Christmas.
And then we did 2 up in short break there.
That's right. And it started with our round table at the end and a little tiny card table, like a little key. And I remember David Sherman sitting at the end, telling some BS story. We were telling deep thoughts. And he told this BS story that we all
That everybody was captivated.
We're like, oh my God, double clutch. Not a word that was
Captivated.
true.
Never trust a lawyer.
Never trust a lawyer, not a word was true. But I remember that little table and that key, and that's where we started. And each year, I always say how this table tells our story, and it really does. And it just continues to tell our story, and it continues to. And every year, there's so many things that we celebrate every year. And here we are again, 2014. 2014. And I don't want to be emotional, but I get emotional because we're here. I really do. Because I say, no. I say because every year we could all be anywhere else. We could be anywhere else. Greg was gone last year. He wasn't even around. And he's back. And I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to but what you're an example of, and I want to use this example, is our Christmas table is constantly changing in the most wonderful ways. It changes every year. We add a cup. We add a pine cone, we take away chocolate, but the essence of what it is, this table is never changes. It's people who come together. And it tells a story, and it tells a story of family and friends who are family. Because our friendships go way beyond that. And we go 3 months, 4 months, and we may not see each other, but it's as if it was yesterday, and we know that. There's never a why didn't you, why couldn't you, shouldn't you have, never. Anyone at this table, there's never that. And that's why some people probably aren't at this table. No, I'm kidding. Their friendships. I don't mean to say you don't invest, but we invest in our friendships. And Paulette made a good point. She said, we've seen each other more this last year than before. I said, absolutely. And next year we'll see each other even more. And it kind of brings me to I don't make it a point to have a thought, but the last 3 years our table has changed, even more so, because of the people we've lost. 3 years ago, my mom was no longer with us. And I was like, wow, kind of came out of the blue. But it was the circle of life, and the table changed. And then people come new. Some people can't be here, but for the most part, our table looks the same, but with wonderful additions and changes. And then, of course, we lost Kurt a couple years ago. And this isn't about loss, this is just about remembering. Because our table tells a story. Our friendship tells a story. So Kurt left us. And then this year we lost Misty. And I don't want to make this about Misty because she would kick me in the ass and say, life is for the living, and that's what she told me. She said, life is for the living, and you get out there and you live. But we would be foolish if we didn't recognize that our table changes, but that's not a bad thing. Because this table, as long as we're all friends, and I suspect we'll be till we're all gone, I suspect we're going to be little old men and women, and through life we're going to see each other take the next step, till one day one of us will be left. And that's the last chapter of the table. Whether we're in another house, whether we're here, whether we're in a little bungalow house, the table travels.
Nursing home.
What's that?
Nursing home.
Nursing home, thank you. And that's all part of it. And her departure is the most devastating thing that's ever happened. But I will share with you from a personal perspective, because of what she did for us, it was the most beautiful experience. Despite how devastating it was, that I've probably ever experienced. The hardest thing I've ever done, Ron's ever done, Jimmy, Diane, Scotty, our whole family. My partner, who's been unbelievable. most devastating thing I've ever experienced, but she made it the most beautiful experience because of what she gave us in that time. And it's what happens. It's the circle of life. It happens every day. Last year, summer ago, Tony lost his dad. I know this is the circle of life. It continues to happen and it will continue. And that's why this isn't a moment of sadness, but it's a moment celebrating our table changing. And our table physically has changed, but in spirit, in memory, in heart, our table is still the same with everyone we've ever had. And I believe that. Whatever your spiritual belief is, whatever your founding is, this isn't about that. It's about what you believe is the higher power and what you have within. And I believe our table, while it changes physically, emotionally, it is beautifully perfect. And wherever we each go, if one year one of us can't be here, it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It means that year the table changed, but it will come back. And so we celebrate life. I celebrate this table. I celebrate that you take the time to come here. I celebrate my partner, who is beyond anything I could ever describe. I knew before this year that he was about as perfect gets, despite all of our bantering and fun we have. But this year I'm truly now convinced that it doesn't get much more perfect. Because I don't know how you find someone who walks you through life the way he's walking me through life. And that's just a little shout out. But having said that about the table, the last 3 years have been a reminder. And this is going to sound silly, but as each year goes, we each get older, we get wiser, we learn more, we have more memories, we have more experience, and we see life happening so quickly. And it really, last year, 2 years ago, my theme was joy. Last year, I'm trying to remember what it was, but I was thinking to Ron, I don't try to make up something to talk about, but what came to me this year was, through all of what we would see as sadness, we're reminded to always seize the moments. Carpe diem. That can be as simple as Drew mentioned on Facebook, a movie with a friend. It can be as simple as a breakfast with somebody. But seize the moment, and most importantly, make the moment count. Because I think we all do that as a whole. We're a very positive group. But I'm more committed than ever, in the spirit of all those we've lost, in the spirit that we're here, to seize the moment, number one, and to always make the moment count. And that doesn't mean they're all perfect, but you make the moment count. So we thank you for being here. We thank you that the table will always continue to change, but in essence, it is a perfect table filled with those here in physical and those who aren't, but we know in our own way, in our own personal relationship, they're with us, however that fits into what your belief is. And I absolutely believe that, not because I need it to make you feel better, but because I know it at my core belief. So there you have it. So thank you for being here, Christmas 2014. And next year, the table will again be here. And we will continue. And someone said, are you guys going to have Christmas this year? And we never had a second thought. We had a thought that it might be a little tougher to rally, but never was there a thought we wouldn't have Christmas. Because, again, not to make this about Misty or Kurt or my mom or Tony's dad or anyone else, Drew's dad. We've all lost someone. But the last thing I think that those we love that we've lost would ever want is for us to quit doing what we did with them and that we will do without them in celebration of them. And it's to celebrate us. We're an amazing group. Totally thrown together in the most odd way how we've all met, but we're this amazing group that I think many would feel very privileged to have friends like this, and I feel very privileged. And I think we are so lucky. And I know I'm talking way too long, but you guys truly mean more to us than you will ever know. And this is a very special table we put together here of people. So thank you. So.
Love you.